We got the Sabre Turbo coming out in just a few short days and what looks to be a new update in May. So if you're short on some cash, grab some shark cards from G2A. They're the cheapest, and use code BOSS for an extra discount. Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be doing another Q&A video where I take your questions from Twitter and I answer them all in this video. Now, obviously, in today's Q&A video, we're going to be answering a lot of questions about the aftermath of kind of the Rockstar Games versus Leslie Benzies, as well as kind of the end of an era in terms of the recent Lowrider update and what to expect next in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, just a quick reminder, I might be doing the next Q&A on Snapchat. I still don't think I have the biggest following on there yet in order to get the best questions. So I'll kind of put my QR code on the screen right now so you can see it, as well as I'll have like a Snapchat link in the description. So definitely go follow me on there. I post like, I guess, stories and stuff of what I do. It's a great way to kind of get a behind the scenes of, I guess, my video making and just my everyday life. And I might be doing future Q&As on there. So definitely be sure to check it out if you do have a Snapchat. However, let's move on to some of the questions that were asked today. This first one comes from Derp Criminal 2. He tweets at me, "How do you think the Leslie Benzies lawsuit may affect Rockstar products in the near future? Hashtag Ask Boss." Okay, so this was a question that I got a lot, and I think it has an impact, but at the same way, I think it has a different impact than we're all kind of thinking. So is this lawsuit preventing Rockstar from like creating content and going about their everyday life? No, probably not. They probably have a legal team and a corporate team and an HR team, which is human resources, that is, I guess, put in place to deal with situations like this. It's not like they're asking developers and the content creators over at Rockstar to suddenly become lawyers and to become pencil pushers and have to do paper and law work. Their job is most likely going to remain the same. However, as I've mentioned in other videos, losing Leslie Benzies is a big deal. Probably a bigger deal than a lot of people are assuming. I've compared it to losing the quarterback of your team, or the point guard of your team, or the striker or forward on your football team. So I've compared it to losing that. Losing a really key player to your team is bad, especially when Leslie Benzies was the brains and the guy who pretty much came up with all the concepts for Grand Theft Auto. In fact, he was even called in to make Red Dead Redemption work. That wasn't even his responsibility, but Rockstar said, "Hey, Leslie, we need you to come fix this," and he did, and Red Dead Redemption turned out to be one of the best games ever created. So do I think it's going to impact the DLCs we get in Grand Theft Auto Online? It might. Leslie Benzies isn't there, and obviously he isn't going to have his impact anymore. So obviously you might be missing that, but as far as like content coming out, I don't think we're just not going to see Rockstar create updates. That would be pretty atypical. But as far as products going forward, like the single player DLC and I guess the next Grand Theft Auto installment, next GTA game, yeah, I am worried. And I mentioned that in previous videos that I think the single player DLC was created. And then when Leslie Benzies left, the Hauser brothers and the team at Rockstar decided to go in another direction. They scrapped that idea and said, "Hey, let's focus on Grand Theft Auto Online." And as far as the next GTA game, who knows how it's going to go without the leadership of Leslie Benzies, who's going to be there to direct and you kind of steer the ship. But really, that's all I'm going to touch on that issue. I've made so many videos talking about what I think about it and what I think Rockstar is going to do. But yeah, I am a little bit worried about, I guess, the future of Rockstar. Up next, we have a question from LT4. He tweets at me, hashtag AskBoss. "Do you think Rockstar would do another race car update like the one in January?" So I'm assuming he's talking about adding more race cars into Benny's original Motorworks. And LT4, that's not a bad idea, but I think a lot of people might be burned out on Benny's for right now. Like I said, I think that's a good idea, but I think Rockstar needs to go in a different direction, at least for the next DLC, maybe even two, one that necessarily isn't centered around Benny's update. We've had a lot of DLCs that have been centered around Benny's, and don't get me wrong, his body shop is great and it's an awesome new thing in online, but I think because of the recent outpour of lowriders that we've gotten, people just want to see something different. They want to do more than customizing cars. They want to get new features like the apartment upgrader or yachts, or they want to get the VIP works and VIP challenges. And honestly, I think that's ultimately what the guys in the GTA community, including myself, are really looking forward to. However, if that were to be the case and we were to get new race cars in Benny's shop, I can think of a few vehicles right now I'd love to see. The Comet would be pretty amazing. Also, the Elegy RH8 and also the Karen Futo. Those are kind of three that I think would be really awesome to see in sort of a Benny's style race car update. So yeah, new race cars in the game would be awesome. I just don't think right now is the perfect time to release something like that into the game, just because of the amount of lowriders we've been getting recently. Our next question comes from Nick Wells, and he tweets at me, what new content / features would you want in a Blaine County / Paleto Bay DLC if one came to GTA Online? Hashtag AskBoss. So Nick, I actually did a full video on this, so I'll leave it in the description if you want to check that out. But that is a good question, and I'll kind of touch on my one biggest feature, and to me, that would be like an off-road equivalent of Benny's shop. So I'm guessing like a new tuning shop for off-roading vehicles, trucks, motorcycles, dune buggies, anything like that. Give us a reason to go up to Paleto Bay in Blaine County, because there is no reason right now. There's nothing you can't do in Paleto Bay other than maybe find rusty vehicles and tractors that you can't do in the city. And the same goes for Blaine County and Sandy Shores. So that's kind of my call to Rockstar. Give us a reason to go up there. And I certainly believe that a new body shop or a new mod shop that would only allow us to customize off-road vehicles and trucks and dune buggies and motorcycles would be amazing. And you'd see a lot of people migrating up to Blaine County. Add a couple 10-car homes or 10-car garages up there, and I think you'd be set, and you'd see the population kind of shift up there, and I think that would be really cool. Our next question comes from Skylar Cassidy, who tweets at me, do you think the next installment of Grand Theft Auto, he says GTA 6 for example, will be on current gen consoles? Hashtag AskBoss. Now, this is an interesting question, and it's one that I wanted to bring up for a few reasons. So GameSpot tweeted today, they stated new console launch could be imminent. GameStop executive says. So you guys all know GameStop. GameStop is obviously a place where you can buy games and trade in games and buy video game accessories. And a GameStop executive says that a new console, a new set of consoles is imminent. And you guys know that there's been rumors about a more powerful PlayStation 4. Some people are calling it the PlayStation 4.5. Others are calling it the PlayStation 4K because it's supposed to, be able to handle 4K technology. And Microsoft have also spoken about the possibility of a new Xbox as well, although they don't really have a timing release or anything like that. But we do know that E3 is right around the corner, and that would, of course, be the perfect time for these big, giant video game companies, Sony and Microsoft, to introduce a new console. And if they do, there is a possibility that the next GTA game could actually be on that 4K PS4, 4K Xbox One. However, at the time, it really is too far to tell. I mean, we just got these new current gen consoles 2 or 3 years ago. I want to say it was 2013 when they came out, so I think we're in the third year of their process. And I know that the Xbox 360 and PS3 went for about, I think it was 8 or 9, maybe even 10 years before they got a new update. So it might be a while, or it might be really soon. I think the closest we're going to find out is going to be at E3, and that's ultimately where we're going to figure out if something new is going to happen in the console industry. And yeah, that might impact GTA 5, it might impact GTA 6. I'm really not too sure, but it's going to be interesting to find out nonetheless. Up next, we got a question from Cameron, who tweets at me, if you could choose one of these locations for a DLC, which would it be? Vice City, Liberty City, San Fierro, or Las Venturas? So I think the only one I wouldn't choose would be Liberty City. And my reasoning is Liberty City has already gotten an HD remake with GTA 4. However, Vice City, San Fierro, and Las Venturas haven't gotten remakes since the PlayStation 2 era. So it would be really cool to see what Rockstar could do with those settings given the power of PC and our current generation consoles. And we kind of already got to see what Rockstar could do with the state of Liberty City in Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, don't get me wrong. I would be extremely happy if any of those cities were announced as a DLC. I'm pretty sure I would die of happiness if, well, like I said, any of those was announced. Vice City, Liberty City, San Fierro, or Las Venturas. But the three that we haven't seen, Vice City, San Fierro, and Venturas, I'd love to see as a new DLC spot. And sort of some map expansion would be incredible. That's asking for so much. Again, I don't even know if that's something on the table that Rockstar is willing to do or willing to talk about. But as far as like things that I'd love to see in online or in GTA 5, certainly going to a new location is at the top of that list. Up next, we got a question from Silo Keo, who tweets at me, hashtag AskBoss. Do you think there should be careers and jobs in GTA? He says bartender, professional golfer, owning a business, etc. Yeah, I do think that's a cool element. sense. I know this game is supposed to be kind of an open world and less of an RPG, like a role-playing game. So I don't think GTA wants to fall too much into the category of like The Sims, but I still think in online it would be cool to have a profession. And maybe there could be some ways to implement it into the online system. So you mentioned professional golfer. If you were a professional golfer, maybe your stamina stat would be improved. If you owned a business, like a high-end business, maybe your intelligence stat would be improved, or you get like a 5% discount at all stores because you got better bartering power. So yeah, I could totally see something like that working, and I think it would be really cool. It would ultimately be up to Rockstar and see how they would implement it. I think they're worried about not becoming The Sims and keeping Grand Theft Auto Online the criminal underworld that it is, but I still think that's an awesome idea. All right, and our last question is a pretty simple one. It comes from Lone Wolf. He says, #AskBoss, how do you make money in GTA 5 fast? And unfortunately, Lone Wolf, Rockstar have patched a lot of the quick money-making ways in online. They no longer allow you to make playlists for contact missions. They really nerfed the money-making system in missions. So ultimately, the best ways are to wait for like double money and RP weekends, which of course are rare and really only come out with new DLCs. And for me, like you might have seen on my DLC video the other day where I customized the Sabre Turbo on the PC, I just bought a shark card. I bought the most expensive shark card. I get it through G2A. I mentioned them in the beginning of the video. That's where I get my shark cards from. And honestly, I spent like $3 million customizing one car. For you guys though, I did it for you guys. So check that link out in the description, or kind of just wait for the double RP and money weekends. That's my best advice for you. But anyways, that's all the questions that we're going to be going over in this week's Q&A. Hopefully you did enjoy. Once again, if you want to get involved in the next one, be sure to go down in the description, follow me on Twitter, and use the #AskBoss as well. And also, don't forget about Snapchat. I am going to be doing that soon. Like I said, I just don't think I have the following yet, so go follow me on there. That would be amazing. If you did go on to enjoy, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.